Richard Robinson, a super thanks to begin today's show. DeMarcus Ware for Denver, Dez, Romo, Witten, Zeke in his prime, etc. Now Zack Martin. We're all great Cowboys serving Super Bowl, but never got there. How many more careers get wasted? This sucks. This is about the Zack Martin injury. And he's spot on. And that's what's most sad to me about guys like Martin, guys like Travis Frederick, guys like Tyron Smith as well. Those guys are at least Ring of Honor caliber players. Some of them are Hall of Famers. And blame the ownership here, but you just don't get the end results each one. That's really, really heartbreaking. Mighty Ant 0215. He's right. I didn't include the super thanks on the end screen. It's been adjusted. So moving forward, my friend, you will see those on there. My apologies for not having them on there previously. I will adjust that and make sure things happen for you moving forward. So thank you. Appreciate that. Now, all these questions are super thanks. It's a feature here on YouTube. Let's donate outside of live videos. Not everyone can watch live. Some of you have jobs and stuff and other things that are more important than just watching a YouTube show. We appreciate everyone who tunes in live. Don't get me wrong. But can't always do it live. That's fine. Edit your message, send them whatever, and we'll show you some love on the show. Xavier Worthy Burner, who will also have one from on Thursday's live show. It just came in, but it was too close to live. So we'll do it on the next show there, Xavier. 3-round mock draft. Abdul Carter, that's the Penn State edge rusher. Jahdae Barron, the Texas kind of safety, who I'm a big fan of his game. I think he's really good. And Aaron Beck that is good. I like it. I don't think you can get Abdul Carter. I think he's going to be a top 7 pick. I don't know if you're going to be in the top 7. But I would like that process. I think that's good. It's a good haul. C.J. DeYoung III, who, look, this is a very, 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 very long super thanks. So I'm just going to let Producer Stone kind of scroll through it as he sees fit timing-wise. There's a lot to break down. The gist of it is this. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones suck. And I think a lot of us agree on that. It has been a lot of issues with this team over the past 25-plus years, almost 30 years now. And ownership has to take more accountability than what they've taken. I can't get rid of ownership. I can't fire them, but they haven't done a good job. And when other teams are spending more cash than you are, you get up there and say, we're all in on this season, and you do nothing. It's just not realistic. And it's not fair to the fans. And that's why I am very upset. That's why we have the whole end screen on why we're all mad at the Jones boys. I think it's both Jerry and Steven get accountability here. And they never take blame. But they are to blame. They're the owners. They want to play dress-up GM and take all the credit. They get the blame when it's all bad too. So are the Jones boys to blame? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know what the pinned comments of today's show, especially if the ad comes here on YouTube. We know wife these 304s. Who do you believe the next coach will be? Gruden. Had me feeling nicey. It's the only proper answer to that. We did one-word reaction to Gruden hired. It's got to be nicey. You can't take away what Jon Gruden said in those emails. I think it is very suspicious that it was a Commander's investigation to Dan Snyder that got those leaked. But I don't know if we can hire him there. I'm glad he's back in the content game with Barstool. It's really entertaining for me. I love him. He's such a good football mind. But I don't know if you can hire that guy to be your head coach. I wonder if Mike Vrabel is your most likely option there. Tan Fam, should we draft a quarterback early in 2025? I define early as first 3 rounds. My answer is no. It's not a good quarterback class. If you are or were convinced one of these guys that gets to you at pick 8, whatever it is an elite top 10 franchise quarterback type, okay. I don't think that's who's going to be there. Because I think Ward and Shedeur are going to be long gone. I ain't taking Jalen Milroe at 8. Drew Aller at 8, I think should also go back to school, by the way. I'm not taking a QB this year early. You want to take one day 3? Sure, that's fine. That's never a bad thing. It's day 3, whatever. But I'm not investing in asset at quarterback when I clearly have others I have to find a way to fix and organize and balance. Andrew Vanderpool. What do you think of Dable as a head coach if he's fired? I think he's a good coach who hasn't had a real chance to do the quarterback play. So I do think the quarterback play has been a huge issue in New York. I would have a lot more interest, like if I hypothetically hire Mike Vrabel, right? Dable's also a Belichick coaching tree guy. Does he want to come be my offensive coordinator? Does Mike McCarthy want to be my offensive coordinator? I will say this part too. I don't know if Dable's always the easiest coach to get along with, because he and Wink Martindale had a pretty ugly divorce at the end. And there was some reporting that had quotes from, like, not those two guys of, like, Dable was out there blaming the Giants' defense for losing games when, like, it very clearly wasn't the defense's fault. Like, I'm a little bit hesitant to go down that path with head coach. I can interview him, see how he vibes with everybody. I would have interest as an OC for sure as well, but I would have some hesitation there, specifically for head coach. But I think he's worthy of an interview. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It's the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. That's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. They're giving away 2 free picks in December, giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas, and they got a freebie for you this week. Patrick Mahomes, half a passing yard. He'll get it. We'll pair it. We're riding producer Jack's picks as he's been on a heater. Jaden Daniels, more than 217.5 passing yards, which I think is really low for Daniels. And Tyreek Hill, more than 74.5 receiving yards. Miami fights for their slim playoff dreams. Download the Prize Picks app today over at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use code CLNS. From Steven, can Mike finally start Lance and see what he can do? The reality we're facing that a lot of us might not want to admit is that I don't think Trey Lance looks very good in practice. Because Mike McCarthy's coaching for his career right now. He's trying to save his job. I think if they thought that Lance was better, he'd be out there already. That said, I would like to play Trey Lance because I really don't want to watch Cooper Rush for another month. I really don't. I would much rather just let Lance loose, see what he can do. If he's my tank commander, awesome. I lose more games, or I have a new backup quarterback next year. I could re-sign him. That's what I do. Charlie, if Jerry's the issue, why move on from Mike? Fair question. I can't fire the owner. I can't dump him. And as much as I will try to do things and you can't always do it, I do think you should always try to evaluate in a bubble. Ignore the negatives and positives you get. You hired Mike McCarthy as an offensive-minded head coach. You didn't let him call plays his first 3 years. You've let him call plays his last 2 years. And outside of a half-season run last year that featured a bit of a come-to-Jesus moment with the quarterback and wide receiver, saying we got to change some stuff here, and McCarthy listens, and then they went right back to the stuff that didn't work previously. Mike McCarthy's offenses have not been good as the play caller. It seems like the game has passed him by. And the pitch I've heard is, well, Mike can come back, but you got to get a new offensive coordinator. Why are we doing that? Why? Why would I bother? Why do I have an offensive-minded head coach who I now don't trust to call my plays and lead my offense, who can't manage a game clock, who constantly finds frustrating ways to self-inflicted wound their way to a loss? Why would he stay? Jerry's the #1 issue. There's a lot of them. I can fix one of them with Mike. So do you want him back as Cowboys head coach? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Robert Simmons, do you agree we should draft a backup quarterback next season? If so, who? Again, you can do it if you want to, but I'm not really trying to spend a premium pick on a quarterback, and I don't like this day 3 quarterback class. I feel like Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck will probably get pushed up if they go pro. I don't think either of those guys are starting caliber. I think Drew Aller should go back to school. I think Garrett Nussmeier is going to go back to school. Jackson Dart just screams, backup QB. I get, it's not fair. I get vibes of Matt Corral there. It's the Ole Miss Lane Kiffin stuff. It's not fair. I think Cade Klubnik will probably go back to school. And then I'm staring at the barrel of like Will Howard, Curtis Rourke, Kyle McCord. Dylan Gabriel might end up being like a top 7 QB, if not top 5 QB in this class. And like, he's a career backup. Like, I don't love the class very much. So you can if you want, but you just kind of know you're getting into a backup there. Now, are you a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan? If you are, sub now. We can perfectly fine to disagree on stuff as long as you just want the Cowboys to have success, the real success that matters, that we're not going to see this year. Hit that sub button for more free Cowboys videos. Matty Ice would draft running back Ashton Genty or receiver like Luther Burden. Probably put T-Mac, Tedero McMillan at Arizona over Genty. Probably going to have Genty higher than Burden on my board, but I would not be mad at Luther Burden. That is a yak generator that you don't have on this team right now. I think would be a really good fit alongside CeeDee Lamb. Raymond, is there an upgrade out there over McCarthy? So, yes, I think there are better head coaches. I think Vrabel's a better head coach than Mike McCarthy. There are concerns with all your head coach candidates. I think Ben Johnson would be an upgrade. There's also this part. The mystery box isn't fun when you have a top 10 whatever at that position. If you had a top 10, like the Niners, the mystery box is not fun if you're trying to move on from Kyle Shanahan because he's really good. When you need something different and new no matter what, the mystery box becomes appealing. There's a chance you get a worse head coach if you go with one of the unknowns of Mike McCarthy. But you can go look at the top head coaches around the NFL. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. If you're a fan of what Mike McDaniel's doing, Matt LaFleur. A lot of these top, Dan Campbell, a lot of these top coaches are first-time head coaches. You have to expand your field beyond former head coach. If you limit yourself to only has been a failed NFL head coach, you're cutting off your pool by 70%. And that's going to limit your chances for success. Who do you want as the Cowboys head coach? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Rich Kaufman, Tom, let's pray for a real coaching search. Better line coaches. Jerry's going to Garrett again. I think you nailed the head on the first part. You need to have a real coaching search. You haven't had a real coaching search since you hired Wade Phillips all those years ago. Stop with the nonsense. Just do a real search. I'm talking double-digit candidates. Otherwise, you're not setting yourself for success. So many young coaches. The interview process matters. If you sit there and you bring in Mike Vrabel and Ron Rivera and you interview Joe Witt and Marvin Lewis and Jason Witten and Bill Belichick, and if he doesn't go to UNC, and you go, this is our 6-man search, and you hire Vrabel, okay, or whoever you hire, that's not a real search. Interview Bobby Slocum, I'm not a huge fan of. You should interview all these other offensive minds and get a real wide search so you can know who's going to be the right head coach. You interview the minimum again, you're just being stupid.